Welcome to another episode and video on my driving robot discovery based on the fischertechnik TXT controller running embedded Linux and in this case the community firmware. Using the community firmware I can use OpenCV for some imaging with the camera you see on front, and I want to use and test the sonar, which is directly beneath the camera, and the two touch sensors left and right. They are connected to the oscilloscope with probes, and those are the touch sensors as well as the sonar. These give these images on the or signals on the oscilloscope, and they look quite similar. However, if I touch one of them, this one is now connected to ground, the blue one, and the yellow one is still running. And when I do this, and if you watched the last episode, you will see and notice a difference. First of all, the signal would like to hold, and in this case it keeps moving, optically at least. The third line is then for the sonar, so I am very curious what signal that will be. And then of course some stuff at the where everything is mounted, what should be detected. And last time I did use battery packs for when it escapes this crane foot. But let's see whatever happens with the sonar. So I'm going to run the program, and let's see what happens, if anything happens anyway. And usually the first run ends in error, but not this time. And okay, now it's interesting to see what happens here. Not every peak is with a point. There is one or two missing, which is interesting, as well as that it does not touch any of the sensors, although it comes very close, but it's held back by the collision of the camera with the crane. And let me touch one of the sensors now. Yep, so that works, but not quite. And mind you, I'm not measuring the motors or the the pulses coming back from the motors. I'm not measuring those. But let's do it again. And for that, let me. And it runs. It just runs. So I'm gonna quit the program for now. And I see that now, without the program running, the signal of the sonar at the bottom is still the same. So apparently it doesn't change. But let's do it again. Now it's going to network error again. Camera connected, there it goes. And this time it diverts from its trajectory. No collision with the camera, but it touches the sensor. As you can see on the yellow line, which is flat. But there's no light. There's no sound. So I don't like this, although it responds a bit like I like. The trajectory diversion is not what I like. So let's find out what happens. I wondered why I was asked for a password, but by studying the code, there's one camera action still active, which is sonar between 10 and 15 centimeters. So that is one, and the previous one is the control state, control 1 and 2, and oh, there's another one active, right, so that is 14, so I still don't know which one is this, because this is between 4 and 10, and will the other one still, the last one be active? Yes, the last one is active as well, which is also sonar, so I need to rerun the test, which will most likely not end the same way as this one is. So let's put the camera like this and see whatever happens. Network error as usual, or well, an error as usual, not necessarily network. Now it works, and it has a slow diversion, and so what happens? Alright, this is 13, and 13 is right, this one. So the largest sonar distance, that is 13. And this one as well, again 13. So here is some discrepancy. Let's see for the next one, because the end number stays 13, and here as well. So something is not quite alright. Which distance is then wait, let's go here. It's the largest distance. So if it, and that makes no sense, because if we look at it, the sonar is right here. There's hardly any distance here. However, there is some distance between the other end of the sonar and, yeah, which one? Okay, let me take a ruler. What is the distance? Okay, it measures the distance probably between here and here. This this is actually 10 centimeters, and this is between 10 and 15, so I guess that's it. Anyway, I can keep doing this. Okay, so yeah, quite a few images. They are all 13, so let's use image magic again, and like usual we can ignore the TXT grays because of this size, which is absolutely wrong. Let's just take the last taken image, which is this one, which is indeed the pole on which the camera for the oscilloscope is mounted. Yes. Is there also... Yep, it is a grey image, which is exactly the same. Not very surprising, but it's nice, it is there. So I had to stop it, and it kept doing this. But what is supposed to happen? Slowing down. It is supposed to slow down. Does that happen? Not a clue actually. Alright, another test, and hopefully another maybe hopefully a trajectory version, so that it runs this way or that way. Most likely this way, that happens much more often. And then see if something happens here. That would be very interesting. So let's see what happens. So yeah, let's remove these ones. All nice, but alright, let's run another one. See if this actually has a different result. Would be very nice. Yep, that's one of the errors. Go. Please, different result. Different behavior. There we go. And yes, a very different result, but still 13. It is still 13. Yeah, I know. Okay. And the point is, of course, that I will likely always get 13. So let's see about that. They're all 13. And why is that? Because of, I think, the time that it drives forward, or the speed that it drives forward, is too fast for the algorithm, for the program to cope by and say, alright, now we are at a smaller distance, so a different number like 12 or 10. And actually that should then be here it is 14 here, and 15. So it is either 13, 14 or 15, of which 15 is indication of the smallest distance. But since it is then already right here, it will most likely never respond. Which is food for thinking. Will it then ever come in here? Will this ever work? Well, without the camera action, maybe. That's an interesting thought, by the way. What happens? It goes in camera action, but it keeps on driving. No, it stops. Well, motor is finished. Stop and stop. Then camera action. But this is with the smallest distance. The middle distance. Am I right? Yes, I am right. The other distance, right, this is a speed reduction from 128 to 64, and then it goes into camera action. Why does it say sonar speed 32? That doesn't match. Oh, that's a nice one. That is no good. Oh, here, speed 128. So this should be 128. Then this is 64 and not 32, but that is detail for now. It keeps on driving, and the camera action takes place. It copies, it waits, but while it waits, does it stop? No, it just drives on. So when I get the copying action nicely done, it will be different behavior. Interesting. So, apart from that, what is the result now? Let's watch the latest image. 14, 30, yes. This is a different one. This is indeed a different image. And when I go, because I also have a 24 here, is that correct? Yes, it is correct. 24, 43. Right, this is much closer. So this is one in the second phase, and this is one, although that doesn't make much sense because this is 13 and that's 13, and they are two very different images. So yes, speed and distance correlate. Right, what next? I still haven't heard sound, but that is kind of known perhaps, and I didn't see a lamp. So, and this one is clearly touched, and still no sonar action. Well, it is sonar action. Right, next, what? Another thing I can test with is the lamp. And that goes for sonar very much. Right now I have put some lamp code in the largest sonar distance condition, which means that it will burn for half a second 3 times. And the idea is that with each other distance condition it burns slightly, it burns 1 time less. So this is 3, next one will be 2, which should be right here, no, right here. Ouch, that's not the intention. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have to be here and then 9. Copy 9 times, which then will be pasted here. So now it is 2 times and resting another 1 time, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times. That will be here. That is not entirely correct. Not even this one. Yeah, it will be. No, this one should go. And then yep, that's it. So with this I should be able to see which distance actually is being dealt with. So let's put the robot in place again. Right, save, go. First one will be the failure. Not even. Did I see a light? I don't think I saw a light. Alright, I'll have to watch very carefully now. So put the camera right here, where I can see something with the light. This is going to be hard. Yeah, right, now it goes to error. Once again. One. And it has already reached this point. Without being able to copy anything, and half a second is pretty long in this respect, very long even. So I should reduce the time to maybe a quarter of a second or even shorter. Let's make it 125, 1/8 of a second. Right, looking quite fast. Will this help? Only thing I can do is test it. So once again, hoping seriously that this will go right. So, oops, right here, go. Will it go right or wrong? Wrong. Another attempt. And there it goes, completely out of its course. Alright. And does it end its course? Before I can, after password ask or before? I think before. So I really have to automate that to have a real nice result. But this means also that in the other two conditions I have to adjust the time to 1/8 of a second as well. So let's do it and test again. And this can be ended. And now two things have happened. First of all, I had to replace the battery, and since it went out of power before I could do anything, unfortunately I now have a gray display, so the date is now set wrong, but also the sonar signal has now full dots every wave, which wasn't the case before or after the first test. So now I'm rather curious how things will actually go. And I had to relog in. So let's see how things work. Mind the lamp, which will do either 3, 2 or 1 short burst for the sonar, if things tend to work. 1 to 3, biggest distance. Aha, that is interesting. And yes, it touches the sonar, the second 1 second sensor, so that is flat. And now you see also that the sonar has a different signal. So let's see how this works out when I put it back on its place. How will this work? Well, for now it won't, because it's asking for a password again. I will not do that. I interrupt it. I start again. What will happen? Network error. So I interrupt and start again. And now the sonar signal is back, because I had to start over. And that is a very safe, a very different thing, but also with password. And I am ignoring that, since I couldn't set the date, so it doesn't matter anyway. Or could I? And now look at it. The whole sonar is back to the same thing, like here. So what I am going to do is give the password. And it refuses to accept my password for some reason. So that's weird. Alright, now there's something weird going on, because it simply says there is a key generation issue. Which absolutely makes no sense, unless there's something wrong during the image. While I can log in, maybe there's something wrong in the transmission. I don't know yet. But I didn't have that earlier on, so who knows. Okay, last attempt for this episode. What will happen, if anything? Nope. Connection aborted. One more time. It seems we have a go. Yeah, but only three, not 2 or 1. And look at this. Yeah, that is this wrong signal is because of this connector being disconnected, which is the mass, the ground. So now signals are back to, well, normal, kind of. And with this I end the episode. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. If you haven't done so, also give it a thumbs up, give a comment, follow me on Instagram, like it and comment. Follow me on Twitter, retweet and like, leave a comment if you want. Please donate to keep videos coming to you. Much appreciated. More info at the start of this video and on my website, and you can also become a patron to have your name mentioned. Take a look via my website, and this is going to be continued. Bye bye.